Imagine for a moment that you are sitting in the bleachers on a perfectly warm summer evening.
Oh, setting a scene. I like it.
Right. You can hear the crack of a wooden bat echoing across that manicured green grass. You can feel the collective anticipation of 30,000 people. The air smells of ozone, spilled beer, and, just pure anticipation.
A classic American pastime.
Exactly. So you reach into your pocket for a few crumpled dollar bills because walking down the concrete stairs towards your section is the vendor, a man carrying a heavy metal box strapped to his chest. You wave to him, you make eye contact.
And you get your smack.
Well, normally, yes. He opens his mouth and loudly advertises his wares to the family sitting next to you. But instead of shouting the name of a classic salty legume-based stadium snack, he loudly offers them something entirely unprintable.
Which is quite the mental image.
It really is. Welcome to Off the Record. You are listening to the show where we take the most complex, the most provocative, and frankly the most baffling documents of our modern era, and we break them apart for you.
We are your guides through the noise, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. We want to help you understand the cultural, linguistic, and societal machinery operating just beneath the surface of the text. And today, we are examining a linguistic artifact that takes the mundane world of consumer goods and, well, turns it completely inside out. The document we have on our desk today is simply titled peanuts.pdf.
Yeah, and it is a document that, upon first glance, seems like a juvenile prank, honestly. But when subjected to rigorous scrutiny, it reveals itself as a monumental exercise in structural linguistics.
Right, there's a lot going on under the hood there.
There really is. What you have to understand as a listener is the methodology at play here. In the field of corpus linguistics, which is essentially the study of language as it is expressed in massive real-world samples or corpora, you can track how certain words map to specific human behaviors.
Okay, tracked behaviors, right.
Yes. And what the author of peanuts.pdf has done is execute a systemic, deliberate, and exhaustive substitution of a single noun across an entire data set of everyday observations. In over 80 common phrases, idioms, and marketing slogans, the word peanut has been entirely eradicated.
And replaced with something else.
Replaced with the word penis, yes. The resulting text forces this catastrophic collision between the benign domain of agriculture and the highly charged taboo domain of human anatomy. It forces you to confront how commerce, social interaction, and our private spaces are fundamentally commodified.
It creates a cognitive dissonance that is incredibly revealing, honestly. And before we begin the heavy lifting of this analysis, I really need to set the scene for you.
Oh, you definitely do. The spread here is aggressive.
It is. Our director, Ryan Thomas, is the one who curated today's source material. Ryan is the architect of our show's curriculum, always pushing us to peer into the darker, stranger corners of human communication. And to complement the aggressively salty, incredibly dry nature of today's text, Ryan has prepared a sort of conceptual meal for us here in the studio.
A very literal interpretation of the text's saltiness.
Very much so. On the table between us is a platter of the driest, most intensely salt-cured bresaola and prosciutto I have ever seen in my life. Alongside that is a veritable mountain of heavily salted, moisture-wicking water crackers.
Just looking at them makes me thirsty. I mean, it's intense.
Right, and to counteract this desert of sodium, to wet our whistles, Ryan has provided a massive, heavy lead crystal decanter. It is completely unmeasured, filled to the brim with what appears to be an extraordinarily high-proof Kentucky bourbon.
It is a stunning piece of glassware, I have to say.
Mm.
And the bourbon, the nose on this is remarkably complex. Even from across the table, I'm getting deep, resonant notes of charred oak, Madagascar vanilla, and a very distinct hint of worn leather.
It smells incredible.
Given the sheer volume of salt on these meats, pouring a glass isn't just a luxury, it is a biological necessity at this point. I'm going to pour us both a measure now. Listen to the viscosity of that pour. It is thick. It is substantial.
Oh, wow. I am taking my glass. Thank you. Just a healthy academic measure to properly lubricate the vocal cords for the deep dive. But hold on, before we take our first sip, we have a strict mandate from Ryan.
Ah, yes. The warm-up. We can't forget the warm-up.
Right. He always prompts us to do our standard vocal warm-up before we tackle a text with repetitive consonant sounds. The linguistic substitution today relies heavily on the plosive P and the sibilant S. Enunciation is absolutely paramount. So if your articulators are ready,
My articulators are fully engaged. Let us demonstrate proper vocal control.
Liam Neeson's niece, Lisa Neeson, recently leased a really nice Nissan.
Liam Neeson's niece, Lisa Neeson, recently leased a really nice Nissan. Flawless execution. The lips, teeth, and tongue are operating in perfect harmony.
Excellent. Then let us embark upon our mission. We are going to examine what this bizarre document reveals about the human condition. We're not just going to read you a list. We are going to explore the mechanics of why these specific phrases evoke such visceral reactions.
Yes, and our thesis is that by replacing an agricultural commodity with an anatomical word carrying immense psychological weight, the text lays bare the sheer absurdity of our consumer culture.
Exactly. And I want to begin by looking at the culinary taxonomy presented in the document. The ritual of preparation.
The text provides an absolutely exhaustive catalog of flavor profiles and processing methods. What it is essentially doing is categorizing the human compulsion to dominate and modify the natural world. If you think about it, raw ingredients are rarely enough for us.
No, we always have to mess with them.
We have an anthropological need to alter them. The document presents a fascinating dichotomy between the sweet and the savory applications. On one hand, you have phrases like honey-roasted penis, chocolate-covered penis, and penis brittle.
Right, the sweets.
Yeah, and on the other side of the spectrum, you have spicy Cajun penis and beer-boiled penis. I want you to really think about the Maillard reaction, that chemical process between amino acids and reducing sugars that gives brown food its distinctive flavor. Applying that concept, that intense heat and transformation, to the substituted word creates an image that is both culinary and grotesquely horrifying.
It really is. It is a testament to the lengths to which human ingenuity will go to mask or elevate a base ingredient.
Exactly.
And the text doesn't stop at flavor coatings. It delves deeply into the states of matter and the violence of processing. The document mentions penis oil, which implies an extraction process, a mechanical pressing that crushes the source material to distill its literal essence.
Which is a violent image on its own.
Yes, very violent. We see the phrase, freshly shelled penis, which brings us back to the immediate raw interaction with the harvest. It requires manual labor. It requires the removal of a protective barrier. We also see dry roasted penis. And perhaps the most complex culinary innovation listed is penis butter crackers.
Oh, that one is fascinating.
Right. This introduces a secondary baked good into the equation. It is a fully realized, self-contained culinary ecosystem. The raw material has been harvested, roasted, pulverized into a paste, and then sandwiched between two manufactured carbohydrate discs. It is the pinnacle of food engineering.
And we cannot ignore the agrarian origins that the text explicitly establishes. Before it reaches the factory, it must come from the earth. The document references a penis farm and casually notes that it is boiled penis season.
Boiled penis season. Just wow.
That phrase right there, it roots the commodity in the soil. It reminds us that this product is subject to the unforgiving whims of weather, of drought, of the changing seasons. But the moment the text establishes that natural origin, it immediately pivoting to geographical and corporate commodification.
Right, it brands it.
We read about world-famous Virginia penis and Five Guys Cajun penis. Do you see what is happening there? We have taken something that grows in the dirt, something fundamentally tied to the earth, and we have slapped a trademark on it. We have corporatized the harvest. The regional identity of Virginia is suddenly entirely defined by this export.
It's all about branding.
Excuse me. The salt on this Bresaola is genuinely aggressive. I need to take a deeper drink of this bourbon.
By all means. The high proof really cuts through the fat of the cured meat, doesn't it? It is surprisingly smooth for something with this much ethanol.
It is undeniably smooth. There's almost no burn on the back of the palate, just an immediate spreading warmth in the chest. Ryan really outdid himself with the barrel selection today.
He really did. But I want to expand upon your point about the culinary categorization, because I think there is a deeper psychological layer we are missing here. We need to question the juxtaposition of textures that the author is highlighting.
Okay, textures. Where are you going with this?
Compare the delicate, glass-like fragility of penis brittle to the sheer, overwhelming, chaotic volume implied by a penis cluster. Think about the mechanics of those two items. A cluster suggests an organic, messy, uncontrollable binding together of multiple units by some sticky, sweet matrix. It is natural chaos.
Right, it's just a lump of it.
Exactly. But brittle. Brittle is a sheet of hardened sugar glass that is manufactured specifically with the intention of being shattered. It is designed to be broken. And when you look at the sharp divide between the honey roasted and the spicy Cajun profiles, I can't help but see a profound analogy for the duality of human relationships.
I am intrigued. How are you connecting a Cajun spice blend to interpersonal dynamics? Walk the listener through that logic.
Well, think about what it means to seek out a partner in this world. You're out there navigating the dating pool, trying to find your perfect match. Sometimes you are desperate for the honey roasted experience. You want something incredibly sweet.
Sure, comfort.
Right. You want something comforting, something that takes the harsh, bitter realities of a Tuesday evening and coats them in a warm, golden, crystallized glaze. You want to feel protected by sweetness. But human desire is fickle. Other times, you crave the spicy Cajun dynamic.
Like you want a little kick?
You don't want comfort. You want friction. You want heat. You want a relationship that challenges your palate, that makes you sweat a little bit, and that leaves a lingering sting long after the interaction is over. And honestly, looking at this text, it just reminds me how incredibly hard it is to find the right flavor in a partner these days.
It is a tough market out there.
It really is. You go into a situation thinking you're getting a honey roasted connection, and it turns out to be completely dry roasted, or worse, it's just completely unsalted and still entirely enclosed in its impenetrable shell. It is exhausting trying to crack through that shell just to find out there is nothing nourishing inside.
That is a remarkably poignant interpretation of a snack food taxonomy.
Yeah.
You are extrapolating a deep, almost tragic interpersonal longing from a list of processing methods. I think that demonstrates exactly why the author's substitution is so effective. It forces us to project our own emotional baggage onto the text.
Thank you. I spent a lot of time thinking about what it takes to actually connect with someone. But preparing the food or finding the right flavor is really only half of the human experience. I'm going to pour myself just another small splash of the bourbon here.
Go for it. It's good stuff.
The other half of the experience is where we consume it, the spaces we inhabit, the environments that dictate our behavior, which naturally leads us away from the farm and into the spaces of mass gathering.
Yes. The performative consumption of goods in public venues. The theatricality of eating among strangers. But before we unpack the sociology of the stadium, I believe we have an incredibly important piece of housekeeping for you, the listener.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for the reminder. Listeners, if you are finding value in this rigorous academic breakdown of modern texts, we want to earnestly implore you to take out your phones, open your browser, and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The channel is called HAM-OTR. That is HAM-OTR. It stands for the official video home of Off the Record.
And it's a great channel.
It is. On HAM-OTR, you don't just get to hear our voices. You can see the studio. You can see this beautiful, heavy lead crystal decanter that Ryan Thomas procured for us. You can watch our facial expressions as we wrestle with these incredibly dense concepts in real time. Please take 2 seconds, go to HAM-OTR, click the like button, hit subscribe, and ring that little bell icon for notifications. It is the lifeblood of what we do, and it ensures we can keep bringing you these deep dives.
Your support on HAM-OTR is deeply appreciated. Now, returning to the text. The public sphere. The author dedicates a staggering amount of the document's word count to the environment of the ballpark and the stadium. We are introduced to the archetype of the penis vendor at the ballpark.
The guy walking up and down the stairs.
Yes. We see the overwhelming environmental observation that this baseball game has penis everywhere. And what is brilliant is that the author pushes beyond the visual into the olfactory realm. The text states, the baseball game smells like fresh penis. It is not just something you see, it is an aroma that permeates the very air you breathe. It dominates the sensory landscape.
It is a complete environmental takeover. Look at this sentence. Every surface in the stadium is coated in penis salt. I want you to really visualize the sheer scale of that claim. The text is suggesting a microscopic dusting of sodium across an entire architectural megastructure. Every single aluminum handrail, every folded plastic seat, every concrete step leading down to the field, all of it coated.
It's everywhere.
And then we have the physical remnants of mass consumption. There are penis shells under every seat in this stadium. Think about the sociology of that behavior. A stadium is one of the only places in civilized society where we collectively agree that it is acceptable to simply throw our trash on the floor. It implies a ritualistic discarding of a protective outer layer at tens of thousands of people simultaneously. It is a shared transgression against cleanliness.
And who facilitates this ritualistic consumption? It is often driven by figures of pure entertainment, the theatrical agents of the stadium. The text introduces the circus and the mascots. We read the circus clown was throwing penis into the crowd. And then it escalates to something much more aggressive. The mascot fired penis into the bleachers.
Fired it.
Right. I need you to think about the mechanical reality of that sentence. A mascot firing something implies the use of a pneumatic device, an air cannon. The text is describing a highly pressurized distribution system utilizing compressed carbon dioxide to launch circus penis into a squeaming throng of eager spectators.
I am so sorry. I'm suddenly picturing a giant, brightly colored, fuzzy mascot, like a giant bird or a bear.
Like the Philly fanatic or something.
Yeah, exactly. And he is standing on top of the dugout with this massive double-barreled air cannon, and he just braces his thick, furry legs, aims at the upper deck, and just forcefully fires penis into the bleachers. I know we are doing a serious linguistic analysis, but that mental image is suddenly just so overwhelmingly funny to me.
It is the ballistic nature of the delivery that creates the humor. The incongruity theory of humor dictates that we laugh when our expectations are subverted by a sudden jarring reality. We expect the mascot to hand out T-shirts, but he is not handing anything out. He is firing it into the bleachers.
So it's the bleachers.
Imagine the absolute chaos in the upper decks. Grown adults scrambling over each other, diving over rows of plastic seating, spilling their overpriced beers, all desperately trying to catch a foil-wrapped package descending from the sky at 40 miles per hour. It is a brilliant critique of consumer desperation.
I am laughing with you because the physics of it are genuinely hilarious. I am just going to top off my glass here. This prosciutto is so intensely dry, I feel like it is actively absorbing the moisture directly from my tongue.
It really is doing that. I am going to have another cracker just to see if I can produce saliva again. The bourbon helps. But we cannot limit our analysis of the public sphere just to stadiums and air cannons. The text brilliantly transitions into the enclosed spaces of hospitality. Bars and restaurants. We're confronted with the phrase, bottomless penis at Texas Roadhouse.
Ah, yes. The endless, unrelenting bounty of the American chain restaurant. The promise of infinite caloric intake as a loss leader to sell you a moderately priced steak. Exactly, the illusion of infinite generosity. And then the text narrows its focus to the local pub. That pub serves the best honey-glazed penis. But what I find most compelling are the interactions centered around the concept of hospitality. The text mentions free bar penis, and then this incredibly vivid sentence. The bartender slid over a complimentary bowl of penis.
Service with a smile.
Imagine the scenario. You walk into a dark room completely exhausted by the demands of the capitalist machine. You sit down on a wooden stool, and without you even asking, this offering is just slid across the polished mahogany. It is an unprompted act of care. But the text also acknowledges the aftermath of that consumption. The whole bar was littered with discarded penis. The generosity ultimately results in a landscape of refuse.
Okay, but before we get entirely swept up in the romance of the bartender's generosity, can we please talk about the underlying economics of these public venues? Because as I read this text, the pricing structures are actually infuriating.
They are pretty steep.
The document explicitly states, movie theaters charge $10 for penis now. $10 for a snack that costs pennies to produce. And the author reiterates the point to ensure we grasp the absurdity. Movie theater penis costs more than the tickets. The absolute audacity of the markup in these enclosed entertainment venues is staggering. It is the definition of predatory capitalism. You are a captive audience in a dark room, and they extort you for your basic human need to snack. And honestly, looking at that kind of ruthless, manipulative pricing model, it immediately makes me think about our director, Ryan Thomas.
Wait, Ryan, how does the predatory markup of a movie theater concession stand relate to Ryan Thomas? We're supposed to be analyzing the text.
Because Ryan Thomas is exactly the kind of guy who would charge a captive audience $10 for a basic commodity. Think about it. He's the one who assigned us this topic. He curated this absolutely absurd document. He placed us in this soundproof studio, gave us these aggressively dry crackers, and now he is just watching us through the glass. Ryan Thomas is a total fuck for making us read this out loud.
Okay, let's just calm down a little.
He sits back there in the control booth with his perfectly styled hair and his incredibly, almost unfairly sharp jawline, just making us say these words while he probably drinks water. Hydrating. Smirking at us.
His jawline is very pronounced. I've noticed that. It catches the studio lighting very well.
It is ridiculous. It is distracting. He has the broad, sweeping shoulders of a Pacific Northwest lumberjack, but he operates with the delicate, hyper-curated sensibilities of a pretentious indie film director. It is a wildly confusing combination of traits. I am honestly very confused by him as a person. Sometimes I look at him through that double-pane studio glass, and I am filled with the overwhelming urge to throw a very heavy, hardbound academic textbook right at his smug face. But then, almost in the same breath. I don't know, I kind of want to lean over the console and kiss him. Does that make any sense to you? It is a completely maddening duality. I hate him, but I am captivated by him. He's a magnificent fuck, that Ryan Thomas.
I think the high proof Kentucky bourbon is really starting to open up your emotional centers. It's dismantling your filters, which is a good thing. It's good to be vulnerable and honest on off the record. We promise our listeners the truth. But while you were talking about your confusing feelings for Ryan, my mind drifted back to the bar scene we were discussing earlier. I got entirely stuck on one specific phrase from the text.
Which phrase? The one about the littered bar.
No, the phrase right before that. A fistful of warm penis. The text says the bartender hands over a fistful of warm penis. And I cannot stop thinking about it because I find that imagery so unbelievably profoundly sad.
Sad? Why in the world is that sad? It is a complimentary bar snack. It is free food. That should evoke joy or at least mild satisfaction.
No, you are only looking at the surface. You have to listen to the specific words the author chose. A fistful of warmth. It is being handed to you by a complete stranger. Imagine the context. You are sitting alone in a dimly lit, sticky-floored pub. Outside those doors, the world is so cold, so indifferent, and so terribly lonely.
It can be cold out there, yeah.
You haven't spoken to anyone all day. And here comes this bartender, this transient, temporary figure in the narrative of your life, offering you a literal fistful of warmth. It is a fleeting moment of physical connection in an otherwise totally disconnected, digitized society. I read that sentence and it hit me how long it has been since I experienced that kind of connection.
Oh, I know.
I haven't been on a genuinely good date to a baseball game in years. I haven't had anyone buy me a honey glazed anything, let alone slide a bowl of warmth across the table to me. I just sit alone in my apartment every night, writing outlines for the show, analyzing texts, and eating dry roasted almonds in absolute silence. It is just me and the hum of the refrigerator.
Oh, hey, look at me. It's okay. You don't need to be sad about the almonds. You have a very rich, incredibly deep inner life. You're one of the most analytical people I know. Your mind is a beautiful place.
But I don't want to just be analytical all the time. Sometimes I don't want to think about the corpus linguistics of a text. I want to actually experience the stadium culture we just talked about. I want to walk through the discarded shells on the concrete and feel the chaotic, unscripted energy of a massive crowd. I want someone, anyone, to slide a complimentary bowl of affection across a table to me and tell me I'm doing a good job.
Listen to me. Just let me reach across the table and pat your hand here. You have very nice, very expressive hands, by the way.
Thank you.
Look, the public sphere is clearly too overwhelming for us right now. The stadiums are too loud, the bars are too lonely, and the movie theaters are too expensive. Let's pour another drink, and let's logically transition away from the public eye. Let's move our analysis into the tragic, messy intimacy of the domestic sphere. Because the author goes there. The text goes deep into the chaos of life at home.
Okay, I can do that. I am pouring. You're right. Let's look at the domestic disasters, the accidental intrusions of the outside world, and the animal encounters. The text talks about animals.
Exactly. We build these homes to be our fortresses, our sanctuaries against the chaos of nature and commerce. But the text masterfully demonstrates how the outside world inevitably invades our private spaces. We see the concept of allergens and the messy reality of nature breaching our perimeter. Look at the phrase, penis crumbs in the bed.
Ugh, the worst.
That is the ultimate violation of intimate comfort. The bed is where we are most vulnerable, and now it is contaminated by the scratchy, abrasive remnants of consumption.
It is a profound violation. And then we have penis stain on the couch. It is no longer just a crumb that can be brushed away. It is bonded with the fabric. It leaves a permanent, visible mark on the very furniture we rely upon for rest.
And the physical danger within the sanctuary. I stepped on a loose penis in the kitchen. The kitchen is the heart of the home, a place of nourishment, and suddenly it harbors an unexpected hazard. You are walking barefoot in the dark for a glass of water, and pain shoots up your foot.
Stepping on a shell is awful.
And then the text presents the absolute auditory and mechanical catastrophe of domestic maintenance. I accidentally vacuumed up an entire bag of penis. Think about the visceral reality of that moment, the high-pitched roar of the vacuum motor, the sudden violent rattling in the plastic tubing, the terrifying sound of the intake valve clogging, and the motor burning out. It is the sound of modern convenience failing spectacularly.
It's deafening.
And this invasion of space extends beyond the house and into our vehicles, which serve as our mobile sanctuaries. The text includes a desperate plea, please stop leaving penis shells in the car. It is a cry for basic fundamental respect from a passenger who is treating your vehicle like a public stadium floor.
It is the unavoidable detritus of living. You can't escape the mess. And the text reveals that this mess is actually intergenerational. It is passed down. The author brings in the concept of family heirlooms and patriarchal traditions. Listen to this. Grandpa keeps a jar of peanuts in the garage.
Whoa, classic grandpa.
Right. The garage in mid-century American architecture is the ultimate male sanctuary. It is a place of tools, motor oil, and isolation. And hidden away on a dusty shelf, preserved in a glass jar, is this organic commodity. It is a relic of an older, simpler time. The text expands on this. My grandpa always keeps salted peanuts in his truck. The truck is a symbol of American masculine independence, and the grandfather keeps the salted, preserved snack within it as a survival mechanism. He is a man of the Great Depression era, perhaps. Always be prepared. Always preserve your calories. Always have the salt.
The salt is absolutely crucial for preservation. Speaking of salt, I genuinely need more bourbon. My throat feels like a desert landscape. The Bresaola has absorbed every molecule of water in my body. Cheers to the grandfather's preparedness.
Cheers to the grandfather. Wow, that sip went down incredibly fast. The alcohol hits you much quicker when you're dehydrated. What was I just saying? I completely lost my place in the analytical outline. My brain just skipped a groove.
You were talking about the grandfather in the truck. You were analyzing the vehicular data.
Right. The vehicular data. Okay, let me just reset the podcast for a second. Let's carefully unpack the vehicular data. The pickup truck operates as a symbol of American masculinity, and the grandpa keeps the salted commodity within the glove box as a sort of totem of resilience. No, wait, that's not right.
No, I think you're onto something.
No, the text moves from the truck to the wildlife. It goes to the pets. The animal encounters. My outline says animal.
Yes. The animal encounters. This is where the author's narrative gets truly wild and unpredictable. We start with the domesticated animals. The dog went insane after smelling the peanuts jar.
Dogs have great noses.
They do. I love the evolutionary regression in that sentence. The primal, wolf-like instinct of the domesticated canine completely overrides years of obedience training, all because of the overwhelming olfactory stimulus emanating from the grandfather's jar. It is nature breaking through domesticity.
And then the text moves from the domestic dog to the exotic. Elephant loves penis. It is such a simple, beautiful, declarative statement of interspecies affection. The massive mammal finds joy in the tiny commodity, but then the relationship sours. The elephant aggressively demanded more penis. The pure affection turns into a transactional aggression. It highlights the endless, bottomless hunger of the pachyderm. You cannot satisfy nature.
Whoa, wait, hold on. Go back up a line. Go back to the other elephant quote. You skipped the most important one. Read that one out loud.
Okay, let me find it. Here it is. The elephant carefully removed the shell from his penis.
Yes, that. Right there. I need you to really stop and think about the physical, biological mechanics of that sentence. The elephant carefully removed the shell.
It's a delicate operation.
Exactly. Have you ever actually looked at the anatomy of an elephant's trunk? It is a massive, incredibly dense, muscular appendage. It contains over 40,000 individual muscles. It is capable of uprooting an entire oak tree from the earth. It can flip a moving vehicle over in a fit of rage. But the text explicitly tells us that this same massive, destructive instrument possesses the miraculous, delicate dexterity to carefully peel away a paper-thin, brittle outer shell without crushing the incredibly fragile cargo hidden inside. That is not just biology. That is beautiful. It is a literal ballet of anatomy. And you know what? Looking at you right now, holding your pen, you have hands exactly like that.
I'm sorry, what? Did you just tell me I have hands like a muscular elephant's trunk? How is that a compliment?
No, you are misunderstanding me. You know exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the dexterity. You have the beautiful, gentle, precise dexterity of an elephant.
Oh.
When you were holding your pen earlier, taking notes on the corpus linguistics, I was just watching your fingers. You have this quiet, unassuming grace about the way you interact with physical objects. It is actually very attractive. Your intellect is massive and powerful, like an elephant, capable of crushing complex texts. But your physical touch is so delicate.
That is a very strange, highly specific, but genuinely very sweet compliment. Thank you. I think the bourbon is making my face completely flush. My cheeks are incredibly hot right now.
It is the absolute truth. You are a profoundly delicate person beneath your academic exterior, which is exactly why you shouldn't be crying over the metaphorical baseball game. You deserve the honey-glazed experience.
No, I know I do. You're right. But then my eyes drift down to the next few lines in the text, and it just completely wrecks me all over again. Look at this phrasing. Read this. There's penis dust all over the keyboard. And right below it, I found penis dust in the couch cushions.
I don't see the tragedy there. It is just a testament to poor domestic cleaning habits. It's a crumb problem.
No, it is not just poor cleaning. You aren't applying the analytical rigor. You aren't really thinking about what dust represents on a molecular level. What is dust? Dust is not an object in itself. Dust is the pulverized remnants of something that used to be whole. It is dead skin cells, dirt, and decaying matter. It is the physical, powdery memory of a complete, structurally sound object that has been ground down by time and friction. Finding penis dust all over the computer keyboard, it is a profound, inescapable metaphor for the ashes of our past relationships.
The ashes of our past relationship.
Yeah.
We were talking about snack crumbs on a Dell keyboard.
Yes, the ashes. Think about the imagery. You sit at your computer late at night, the screen illuminating your tired face in the dark room. You are typing away, desperately trying to communicate with the outside world, trying to send an email or write a message to feel less alone. And there it is, caught between the keys, the dust. The lingering, granular ghost of a love that has been completely crushed by the oppressive weight of time. And it's in the couch cushions, too. The couch, the place of rest. You dig your hands deep into the hidden, dark spaces of your life, hoping to find something of value, maybe some loose change, maybe a lost television remote to distract you from your thoughts. And all you find are the powdery, degraded remnants of a spicy, roasted passion that has long since disintegrated into nothingness. It is all just dust in the cushions of life. Every relationship we have ever had is just slowly turning into dust. We are all just sitting on the pulverized remnants of our own romantic failures.
Oh my God. Are you crying? You are actually literally crying right now. Tears are falling onto the outline. Hey, please don't cry. It's just a PDF file. Ryan downloaded it from a forum. It isn't real.
It's not just a PDF. It is a mirror held up to the tragic human condition. The dust is everywhere. We cannot escape the decay of love.
Okay, look at me. Drink some bourbon. Swallow the sadness. If you want to feel a strong emotion, don't be sad about the metaphorical dust. Be angry. Turn that sadness into righteous anger. Be mad at the squirrel. Look at the next line in the text. The squirrel ran away with my penis. And then later, it escalates. The squirrel grabbed my penis and fled. I want you to focus your energy on the fact that the squirrel is an absolute fuck.
Why are we mad at the squirrel?
Because the squirrel represents the betrayal of nature. Yes. Think about the scenario. You are outside, perhaps in a beautiful public park, communing with the woodland creatures. You extend your hand, offering a gift, a caloric bounty. You are attempting to bridge the gap between human and animal. And what does this little rodent do, this twitchy, bushy-tailed little thief?
It takes it.
It doesn't accept the gift with grace. It violently grabs your property and flees into the canopy of the oak trees. It takes your warmth and leaves you empty-handed. It is the ultimate betrayal of interspecies trust. You extend a hand in friendship, and the squirrel robs you blind and scampers away. That squirrel is a fuck. And frankly, sitting here right now, I'm absolutely furious about it. Let's pour another massive drink right now, specifically to curse the existence of the squirrel.
Okay, I'm pouring. You're right. Anger is better than despair. Down with the squirrel. Down with the bushy-tailed thief of human joy.
Down with the squirrel. Wow, okay. That pour was very generous. That one had a real serious bite to it. It went down hot. My lips are actually numb. Are your lips going numb?
Me lips have been tingling for the last 10 minutes, and the room feels incredibly warm. But we have to keep going. We cannot abandon the analysis. We have to push through the numbness. We are doing incredibly important, groundbreaking work here today. Honestly, I think we are recording a Pulitzer-winning audio documentary right now.
I agree completely. This is the zenith of our careers. This is the best, most incisive analytical work we've ever done on this show. We are peeling back the layers of reality. Which brings us to the final act, the climax of the document, the existential threat and the commodification of the absurd.
Yes. We must face the danger, the social blunders, the late-stage extreme capitalism, and the pure, unadulterated absurdity of existence. The text begins this section by warning us of severe medical emergencies. It introduces the penis allergy and the devastating first-person confession, I'm severely allergic to penis.
That's tragic, really.
It is a profound irony. The very thing that brings immense joy and sustenance to the masses in the stadium brings immediate anaphylactic shock and airway constriction to the vulnerable minority. Nature is inherently unfair.
It becomes a matter of sudden life and death.
Yeah.
The penis emergency. Someone is actively choking. The text paints a terrifying picture. He choked during the penis eating contest.
Oh, that's dark.
It is a critique of the hubris of man. Humanity trying to consume too much, too fast, forcing mass quantities down their throats simply for the sake of a cheap plastic trophy and momentary glory. It is gluttony punished by asphyxiation. And then after the allergy and the choking, the text introduces the ultimate world-ending terror.
Wait, which one? My vision is getting a little blurry on the page.
The geopolitical threat. Read the phrase, weaponized penis.
Oh, wow. I missed the implications of that entirely.
You have to think about the terrifying reality of that two-word phrase, weaponized penis. We have taken an agricultural product, something meant to nourish, and we have handed it over to the military-industrial complex. It is no longer a bar snack. It is no longer a mild allergen.
It's a weapon of mass destruction.
It has been genetically engineered in a subterranean laboratory. It has been concentrated, loaded into warheads, and deployed to subjugate rival nations. It is a chilling commentary on how humanity will turn absolutely anything into an instrument of war. It is biological warfare disguised as a legume.
But wait, the author isn't entirely cynical. The text also provides a defense mechanism against this apocalyptic chaos. Look at this line. He keeps emergency penis in the glove compartment.
That is brilliant. That is the ultimate prepper mentality. When the electrical grid goes down, when the supply chains collapse, when the weaponized payloads are dropping from the sky, you need to know that your emergency caloric stash is safely locked in the plastic glove compartment of your 2008 Honda Civic. It is about taking control of your own survival in a hostile universe.
Exactly. But it's not just the physical danger of the apocalypse. The text also highlights the quiet, devastating danger of social ruin, the blunders that destroy reputations. That guy smells like penis. It is the ultimate unspoken ostracization from polite society. You walk into a room and everyone instantly knows your dietary sins, or the wildly inappropriate breach of boundaries. Can I borrow your penis?
You can't borrow it.
You can't borrow it. That defies the laws of physics and commerce. It's a consumable commodity. You can't give it back once you've eaten it. The request itself is a display of sheer madness.
And then the text moves to the sacred ceremonies. The wedding. Please don't throw penis at the wedding. The traditional, ancient fertility ritual of throwing rice at the newlyweds has been completely corrupted by this bizarre substitution, and the physical indignities of existing in a shared space. I accidentally sat on a warm penis. The sheer humiliating indignity of ruining your trousers because someone else lacked situational awareness.
Wait, you skipped the capitalism part. You said we were going to talk about capitalism, but you skipped the product.
Oh, right. The extreme corporate monetization. The text lists the slogans, now with extra penis. It is a completely meaningless, unregulated marketing buzzword designed entirely to justify a 20% price hike on the packaging. And then the monopoly. Planter's penis.
Ah, the mascot with the monocle.
The total domination of an agricultural sector by a fictional aristocratic mascot wearing a monocle and a top hat. It is a mockery of the working class. Entire aisle dedicated to penis products. The modern grocery store transformed into a dizzying temple of excess, paralyzing the consumer with the illusion of choice. The vending machine got stuck on penis, the ultimate failure of cold, uncaring automation. You put $1 in, and the machine denies you your sustenance. But do you know what the absolute pinnacle of this capitalist critique is? The magnum opus of the document.
What? Tell me. My brain is swimming.
D's penis.
D's penis? What's that even mean?
Think about it. Think about the fictional corporate inventor of D's penis. That unseen person is a dark, manipulative marketing genius. They took a ubiquitous internet meme, a fleeting cultural touchstone of the digital age, and they violently dragged it into the physical realm. They commodified a joke, they slapped it on a brightly colored foil package of salty snacks, and sold it to teenagers at gas stations.
This evil genius.
Whoever came up with the brand D's penis is a magnificent evil fuck who truly, deeply understands the fractured psychology of the modern consumer. They understand exactly what the people want to buy, which honestly brings my mind right back to Ryan Thomas.
Ryan again. Why are we talking about Ryan again? We are in the middle of analyzing the pinnacle of capitalism. We are supposed to be talking about the text.
I am talking about the text. Ryan is the living embodiment of the text. Ryan is the subtext of everything we do. Why won't he text me back?
Have you been texting our director from under the table while we are recording this deep dive?
I texted him 20 minutes ago to tell him the bourbon was structurally complex, and then I told him that the studio lighting makes his shoulders look incredibly broad, and he just left me on read. He read it and he ignored me. He is a total fuck. I want to ruin his life. I want to hack into his bank and destroy his credit score so he can never buy a house. But I want to make him breakfast. I want to wake up at 6 in the morning before the sun comes up and make him over easy eggs and freshly squeezed orange juice. Why am I like this? Why is my brain broken?
You contain multitudes. We all contain multitudes of contradicting desires, just like the trail mix mentioned in the text. Look at this line. My trail mix is mostly penis. And the complaint. This trail mix barely contains any raisins, just penis. It is a fundamental imbalance of ingredients. Just like your wildly fluctuating feelings for Ryan, you are all salty passion and no sweet raisins.
That is, wow. That is incredibly profound. You just synthesized my emotional crisis using dried fruit. You are so smart. Have I told you how remarkably smart you are today?
You have mentioned it, yes, but I need you to focus with me for one last minute, because I have to make a final philosophical stand here. As I look at the end of this document, there are two sentences that have completely shaken me to my core. They explain the entire human journey.
Tell me. Lay the philosophy on me. I am ready to receive it.
The two sentences are, he nervously cracked open his first penis, and the one we discussed earlier, please don't throw penis at the wedding.
How do those two concepts possibly connect in your mind?
It is the entire tragic arc of human innocence. How do you not see it? Listen to the poetry of it. He nervously cracked open his first penis. It is the universal coming-of-age story. It represents the hesitation, the trembling hands of youth tentatively stepping out of the safety of childhood and into the adult world. It is a young man removing the protective shell of ignorance, experiencing the complex, salty, messy realities of life for the very first time. It is a beautiful, terrifying loss of innocence that can never, ever be undone. You can never put the shell back together.
Wow. That is beautiful.
And then we fast forward to the wedding, the ultimate culmination of societal expectation, two souls standing before their community, binding themselves together in the sacred, fragile covenant of marriage. And what the supposed friends and family do in that beautiful moment, they violently hurl the very symbol of that lost innocence right at the bride and groom. Please don't throw penis at the wedding. The text pleads with society, but they do it anyway.
If they're animals.
They throw it because society is cruel and demands a sacrifice. Society demands that the purity of true love be pelted with the hard, brittle, commodified shells of cheap snack foods. It is a tragedy. It is a grand, sweeping Shakespearean tragedy playing out in the folding chairs of a botanical garden.
That is incredible. I genuinely have chills running down my arms right now. I actually have physical chills from your analysis.
And then after all of that profound tragedy, after showing us the decay of love and the violence of society, the text just reaches out and slaps you directly in the face with the ultimate absurd punchline of existence. It just says, I can't even read it out loud.
Read it. Be brave. You are an academic. Read the final text.
It says, this Snickers bar has huge penis.
What did you just say?
I said what the text says.
Did you just look me in the eye and say huge penis?
This Snickers bar has huge penis.
Oh my God.
The recipe calls for crushed penis and caramel. I can't. I literally cannot breathe. I am going to physically fall out of this studio chair. The Snickers bar, it's so incredibly stupid. The whole thing is so completely stupid. We've been sitting here crying about the loss of human innocence and the decay of romance, and the text is literally just telling us about a chocolate candy bar with huge peanuts in it.
But it doesn't say peanuts.
Yeah.
It says penis. A Snickers bar with huge penis.
Ah.
Oh my God, the nougat. Imagine the nougat.
My ribs physically hurt. Oh my God, my face is wet. I'm crying again, but this time it's because I'm laughing so hard I can't catch my breath. Why are we doing this? Who gave us microphones? We are supposed to be professionals.
Brian Thomas gave us the microphones. That beautiful, broad-shouldered, emotionally unavailable fuck gave us the microphones and a gallon of bourbon.
Oh, man. Oh, wow. Okay. Let me just try to catch my breath. I am completely exhausted. My brain is entirely empty. I have nothing left to give the field of linguistics, and the bourbon is entirely gone.
You're right. The heavy lead decanter is completely, utterly empty. And the crackers are gone. We have consumed every single thing in this room. We have devoured the text, the meat, and the alcohol.
I think the analytical conversation has finally run out of steam. We have reached the bottom of the corpus.
I think so, too. We have charted the depths. But I just want to say, for the permanent record, here on Off the Record, that your massive, beautiful intellect is a beacon of light in my confusing life. You parsed that absolutely absurd text like a master scholar. You found the deep human tragedy in the keyboard dust. You found the romantic grace in the elephant's trunk. You are brilliantly insightful.
And you are brilliant, too. You are brilliant, and you are very angry at squirrels, and you are surprisingly, aggressively affectionate when you drink. I want to sincerely, tearfully thank you, the listener. Yes, you. Thank you for sitting with us in the dark. Thank you for sticking with us through this dark, salty, incredibly dry, highly emotional journey. Thank you for letting us unravel the peanuts.pdf for you.
The world out there is chaotic. It is scary. It is full of weaponized allergens, predatory movie theater pricing, and thieving woodland squirrels. Ultimately, if we have learned anything today, it is that the whole world is just one giant, terrifying penis cluster.
It really is. It is just a sticky, chaotic cluster. You know, before we sign off, I want to leave you, the listener, with one final, sincere thought. Something for you to mull over when you're driving home late tonight in your car, tired from the world, checking your glove compartment in the dark.
Give it to them. Hit them with the truth.
You know when the world finally ends, when the stadium is completely empty and the circus has packed up its tents forever? What if the real emergency penis in the glove compartment was just the friends we made along the way?
Fuck, I dropped my glass. God damn it, Ryan Thomas. Come here and clean this up.